Stramer here with Breaking Muscle. What we're going over today is the muscle up. This is probably the most important movement for CrossFitters as far as status goes. This is what everyone's after. This is the big move that everyone practices and practices and practices and doesn't feel complete until they have. We're going to break this down a couple different ways. You can tell I'm not in a full-size set of rings. I'm going to be on the ground for a bit and go through the transitions and then show you the actual move on a real set of rings. So before you get started with a muscle up, the most important thing to think about is your hand position. It's not a standard grip. It's actually called a false grip in gymnastics, where the entire ring is really resting right on the edge of my hand on the pisiform bone. And that's actually what's holding me in place. If my hand was here, it'd be really hard for this transition to happen when I needed to go from hanging to pushing. So that's part one, getting in this position. You can spend hours just hanging out here, pulling up on the rings, making sure that your hand's comfortable. Once you're in here, the initial position is going to be with you hanging down. It's going to be a violent pull in, a transition around, and then a ring dip. That's essentially an entire muscle up in its entirety. But to get from A to B to C is where we get into some challenge. So step one, get in your hand position. Step two is going to be a big, strong pull this way. Not a strong pull that way. We see this a lot where people get in trouble and come out to the side, but there's no way to get your body through this hole if your hands are out wide. Some coaches will even say that you're going to trace your chest with your hands with the pull. So the transition looks like this. Up, and look what happened. My hands went right to the outside to get ready for the ring dip. So they came around and shot right into that pocket. That's what we're looking for. If this is happening over and over, remember to trace down the middle. So I've gone boom. I'm into my ring dip position, and from here, I'm just going to press myself up. So that's a lot of what a muscle up looks like on the ground. I'll show you a couple on a real set of rings and take it from there. So same thing. I've loaded up my false grip. Now for competition, you're going to have to start wrists out. For this, I'm just going to hold it here to show. Again, it's a big pull, a transition, and then a ring dip up. A couple things to think about to make that transition from here to here. We like to say putting your head through the window. Again, I know Tucker's not a big fan of it, but I found it to be a good cue that when people get up to here, they tend to lean back. Or they tend to lean back or come out to the side. Where really, when I get to here, I have to fold myself over to get in that ring dip position. Again, big pull, right into the ring dip position, ring up, and back down. That's your muscle up. We'll see you next week. Thank you.